But it's not that bad a sell-off, is it, when you think about it? Really, the lows of the kind of US-ish kind of session, really just marking off these kind of lows here. So from that price, you're really only down at 3/4 of a big point. And, you know, it's not a big sell-off, I suppose, in that type of world. But you can see just in last night's, Friday night's volatility going into the close, you can see there's a fairly substantial value divergence, which, to be fair, did play out bullish in the overnight session. So the buyers into the closing bell on Friday were absolutely correct. Remember, circumstances can change, of course. Remember, that's very much the case, Mike. Circumstances can change. So whilst they were very bullish in the closing bell, and we tweeted that last night for your use, if you were to able to read and draw a line, you'd have been able to see that for yourself, of course. And you know, you can obviously recognize that the upside in the overnight session was actually reasonably good. And yeah, as it transpires, you'll see that my tweet from 15 hours ago was right. So 15 hours ago, I sent out a reminder to you guys just coming into the electronic restart at 11 o'clock. You'll see that as a reminder, Friday's close on equities had volatility a lot cheaper than price action had suggested. So dealers were expecting a bullish reaction after the weekend. Well, they got a bullish reaction. It actually came up, it showed up, the bullish reaction was there. We went from a low price of 60s to a high price of 92. We had $1,500 of upside profits for somebody that read that storyline, right? Read that storyline. Now, obviously, since then, we've seen what looks like to be a reasonable fair value narrative unfolding on equities. It's not really started to show me an awful lot of upside or an awful lot of downside on a short-term basis. So it is what it is. But the dealers, I think they've done a good enough job. I think they were right. You know, you can look at it and say, my God, the dealers got it horribly wrong. Well, they didn't actually. And as a result, you know, the dealers actually ended up making money on the overnight Japanese Asia Pacific session. So yeah, dealers were spot on the money, guys. Dealers were spot on the money. So that's assuming they traded this in the overnight session. If they haven't traded in the overnight session, they're under the water a little bit here. So I'd imagine that they're going to try and take the price up at the open, just basically to balance up their books a little bit. So just watch that. As soon as the price goes up, if you see anybody starting to sell down into it, that's the dealers clearing off maybe a losing position for the start of the day. So be careful at the cash open, guys.